What's going on, guys? I just feel like this needs to be said. When it comes to a process, some of the reason and forgive me because I'm feeling a little under the weather right now because I went to my parents' house over the weekend, and man, their heater wasn't working in the upstairs level of the house, and it really got to me. But because I know what to do health wise, I'm recovering quickly. I'm just not feeling 100% myself, but bear with me here. It's a very important message, and I will post it on my my YouTube, so I'll link it as well. But when it comes to your process, a part of you getting anything done is letting go of your past self. You are always who you are becoming. So the state of you becoming needs to change. You need to begin to look at yourself as the number one priority. And what I've seen on my journey as a health and wellness coach and what I call body transformation specialist, as a certified strength and conditioning specialist and certified nutrition coach, and you can call me life coach as well, I see that the same patterns arise in individuals who want to become better versions of themselves. The first thing that I see is the destructive behavior, okay? The destructive behavior, it usually starts because it's a decoy for the person being honest with themselves. What I mean by that is we get loud, we get angry, we cry, we do a lot of things to place a decoy ahead of what the real problem is. We won't necessarily say what the problem is until it's really dragged out of us. So this is actually why you need to invest in a coach, someone who loves you and you believe who cares. Okay, that's a very important part of this message, because your boyfriend, your friends, your family, they're often not going to get beyond those layers. Sometimes they can, most of the times they cannot. But a coach with experience like myself, I have 11 years of that experience, I can get beneath that layer. But it's uncomfortable. And what usually happens is individuals, it usually is tied to two things if they become very successful in a program. It has to be a good program. It can't be a diet that you've been thrown, and it can't be just some, generalized workout program. I'm talking about something that is individualized to you, the perfect structure, like mine, okay? Where I individualize the exercise through a strength test and a movement assessment, where I individualize the nutrition based off of your current habits and presenting new ones that are gonna be habits that formulate and then continue with you for the rest of the days until you die, making you healthy and age gracefully. And then on top of that, the life coaching aspect is the mindset that I have structured around the program. And you have to fill out something in the morning, in the PM, you get a motivational video on the Monday, and then you also have coaching conversations with me. This is how we individualize it, as well as we have the application messenger. So you can message me anytime that you want, Monday through Friday, and I'm going to get in touch with you if I'm not in a client session or if I'm not having family time. That's a truth. If you have that kind of a process, then you should be winning. If you're not winning, it's tied to two things. If you are winning, it's tied to two things. The way this works is this. Usually successful people in a program, they're coming out of a bad relationship and wanting to do extraordinarily well for themselves, or they're looking at health problems. That a doctor has said, if you don't get this together, it's live or die, or you just feel like absolute and total crap because of your current state physically, okay? Those are the people who become very successful in processes like this. So don't think for 5 freaking seconds that because you've been through a lot that you're not able to win. That's a lie from the pits of hell, and you need to get that out of your head, okay? What is true is you will be very successful if you break through your decoy. Stop putting forth a decoy and be your honest self. In my process, you have to write about yourself. A lot of those things are dragging positivity into your life. If they're not positive, don't write positive things. Write your real honesty. If you're not a part of my process, you have to look at it like this. Journal. Get a journal. And most of you aren't going to do this. So I'm still going to say it, but most of you will not do this. The people who do, you will be successful, and you can send me a thank you message if you choose. But you need to journal your feelings, man. You need to journal the times that you fail. You need to journal the times that you win. You need to journal that what you're going to do the next day to do it better. Period. If you don't, you're not going to tap into your true self, your true state of mind. And you're not going to be able to become that person who you're becoming. You're going to stay stagnant. And stagnant means death. If you are just in this place where you are cemented in your current self, you're not going to get anywhere. The only way that you're going to get somewhere is digging beyond those really uncomfortable, difficult surfaces. For example, you're in a relationship. The person that you're with, they're not returning your messages. The person that you're with, they're just not treating you as you should be treated. Perhaps they're calling you out of your name. Perhaps, they're getting erratic. Perhaps they're yelling at you when you try to call them out on truth. Okay? This is destructive. If you continue with this person, you're going to create this kind of a pattern. You're going to get with them, then you're going to break up with them. They're going to give you a sob story. You're going to get back with them again. And you're going to get back with them again. And then they're going to create the same destruction. They're going to show you the same patterns. And you are going to let them go again. This is going to happen over and over again. And we call this the roller coaster. So you're literally paying the cashier. Here, sir, here's my $10. Okay, ma'am. Okay, sir. Go ahead and ride the funnest roller coaster that you've ever been on. You're literally at the freaking circus in your own mind, allowing this process to happen. So you have to make up the decision and say, I want off this damn thing. Every time that I get on the roller coaster, I feel queasy. I feel sick to my stomach. Do you? Most people do. The problem is because you've spent so much time connecting with this individual, you are connected to the pain as well. That's right. So even though you know that there's destruction in the relationship, you're still connected to the pain because pain is all you know. So you give chances, lots of them. Now, God said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. God said that his love looks like this. It never stops believing. That's in 1 Corinthians if you want to see that. Or in Corinthians. And what you need to understand is that if you keep seeing these patterns of behavior, that roller coaster that you are on, it doesn't have tracks that finish the coaster. You will eventually get to the end of that roller coaster that doesn't have tracks connected, and you will plummet to your death. Spiritual death, mental death. And it will make you crazy. It will begin to take over your very freaking mind. Perhaps that's already happening to you right now. Perhaps the person that you're with has begun to take over your freaking mind. Well, listen. You can make the decision to allow that person to take over your mind, or you can begin to get very dreadfully honest in your process and say that, all right, this is what's happening. I know I'm not who I am, but I am who I am becoming. I know that I continue to put these decoys in front to justify this relationship and to also justify my behavior. So to do different, instead of saying what I'm going to do, which does not work because that's a part of my habits, it's just saying something and not doing it, I'm going to write it down. And once I write it down, I'm also going to use the voice memo in my phone, and I'm going to speak those words into the phone. Perhaps even before you write something down, you need to speak the words into the phone in a voice memo and listen back to yourself. Be dreadfully honest, brutal with yourself. Handle your business. Don't put, nicknames in front of yourself like, independent woman, or a man who doesn't stand for crap, or alpha if you're a male and you're actually weak. And you say that you're an alpha because that's your alter ego and that's what you want to become, but you're really not focused on being that person. Don't put nicknames ahead of yourself. Be honest with yourself. If you're weak, be weak in the moment. But don't stay there. Be weak for the moment that you need to be weak, and share your real feelings with your true self, and then say, all right, weak individual, this is who I am becoming. I am becoming a person of power. I am becoming a person who can walk away from bad relationships. I am becoming a person who sees something in a relationship and it looks bad for me, and instead of continuing in it and trying to fix it and play God, I am walking away because I see the destructive patterns that are sure to follow. I am becoming the person who does not make excuses for the gym. Instead of me waking up and saying, God, I gotta go to the gym, it's more so, man, I'm blessed to go to the gym because I have my legs and I have my arms and I have my strength to go there. And perhaps you don't even have your legs or your arms, but you have your abdominal region and you'll work that. There's a lot of people who don't have their limbs and who still do this. They're incredibly encouraging people because they've been through hell. Just like you. Just like me. I've been through a divorce. It was a terrible experience while I was there, but I was the same person I'm telling you not to be. I was the person who was constantly trying to fix my wife, constantly trying to take her to counseling services, went even as far as to take her into a marriage ministry. None of this helped. None of it. She was still the same person that I loved. Even though she was being destructive to me, I was still trying to help her because that's who I am. I have a Superman complex, which is why I'm really freaking good at my job as a transformation coach, because I literally exist to help people better themselves, sometimes even more than myself. I had to stop not caring about myself and just caring about what others were going to do. Now I'm the individual who has reversed those bad patterns because I spent my time in the Bible. I stopped listening to music. I stopped watching a lot of TV. I literally stayed in my apartment, which was a loft. And at the very top of that loft, it was very quiet and peaceful. And there was nothing in there but me, myself, and my thoughts. So I opened up a Bible. Didn't work. Started reading. Didn't work. Kept falling asleep. So I started listening to an audio Bible. Just letting the words be spoken into me. And then eventually I became to know who God really is. The real God, not the false God that I made up in my head. Not the one who was happy-go-lucky all the time. No, the one who cried before he got on the cross. The one who said, I have not come back yet because I want as many people as possible to be saved. That God. That God. The God who is always patient with me, even though I am a sinner, even though I am not perfect. That God. That's who I got to know. That's how I changed. Some of you don't know God, and that's okay. He wants to know you. He wants to know you. Okay? And I don't care if I'm not talking to Christians. This is reality. So if you want to get out of bad relationships, if you don't want to continue in that process, you need to get out of your current self and start walking towards the person you want to become, the person you are becoming, not who you want to become, who you are becoming, because that person has those leadership skills. That person has the ability to get into a relationship, the dream relationship, not the one you're currently settling for. that person has the ability to get out of the situation you are in. Now, to the people who have been told live or die for health. All right. For the people who are smoking, for the people who want to quit that smoking, for the people who are alcoholics, for the people who are addicted to food, whatever the case may be, you now have health problems and you want to reverse that. You want to walk into the person that you're becoming as well. You want to be the person who no longer looks to food because you're emotionally distraught. You need to be the person who doesn't pick up a cigarette because they've had a rough day. You need to be the person that simply because they've had turmoil and stress come into their life that they don't pick up a ton of liquor. Well, the only way to do that is to break up the relationship that you have with the cigarette, with the liquor, with the food. You have to break up. It's uncomfortable to break up with someone because they've shared so many time with you. They've shared a lot of their time with you. You've shared a lot of time with them, and you've bonded with these things. Do you understand that you're bonding with your approach? It doesn't have to be a human that you're bonding with. You're bonding with the approach that is destroying you. You're bonding with the food in a negative light. You're allowing that food to be a comfortable source for you to go to while the food is destroying you. You've decided to have cigarettes be your friend. You're out there in the cold shivering, just trying to keep the light warm so it doesn't burn out, but you're killing your insides. You're not protecting yourself. You're not being kind to yourself. You're drinking all of the liquor, but you're destroying your liver. The thing that processes very food that's coming into your body and that gives you life. You got to break up with these relationships. You have to just make it known that these things are killing you versus making you feel good for a moment. Just like people who are addicted to sex and pornography. Hey man, I was addicted to pornography as well. And porn is something that people go to because they're trying to share different relationships with beings that they don't know. They can have a different relationship every single second of the day, or perhaps you're just every night, perhaps you're every morning. And they lie about it because, well, they don't feel that others are going to understand. They feel that others are going to put them down. They feel that others are going to basically make them feel like crap. And when we feel like crap, we go right back to the liquor. We go right back to the cigarettes. We go right back to the porn. Perhaps you're addicted to sex. You go right back to finding the new vagina, the new dick. Let's be honest here, we're adults. So, if you want to change, you have to break up with these relationships. You have to do other things instead of this. For me, with the pornography, the first thing that I can do for myself is I jump down on the floor and I start giving push-ups, man. Tons of push-ups, tons of push-ups until my mind is so tired from what it is that I'm doing that I slowly drift away from the thoughts that I had about being with this new woman virtually, right? You gotta throw yourself into different patterns. We call these pattern interrupts. Perhaps it's just listening to a podcast for you. Perhaps it's listening to your audio Bible. For me, it was the audio Bible. For me, listening to the audio Bible is the thing that helps me survive in this world. Because it keeps my mind out of the world. It allows me to exist within the truth, which is God's truth, ancient truth, that has been found out through science for all you science buffs and everything else. So, I trust in God, and I listen to God, and He helps me. He knows I'm a sinner, but He still loves me. His grace, as there is sin, it abounds more. Right? That's someone who cares. God's someone I know He will never leave me. I leave Him. If ever I do it, I leave Him. He doesn't ever leave me. I leave Him. I decide to walk away from Him. Right? You have to be the powerful source that is willing to walk away from whatever the hell you are dealing with, because it is hell. You are choosing hell. You are choosing to walk into a prison as a free human being and have the warden or the guard lock you up. And the warden or the guard is like, hey, listen, when you're ready to come out, just holler and I'll give you back the keys. Take them. Stop not taking the damn keys. Forgive my my mouth and cussing. Forgive me of those cuss words. I try to be a sinless individual the best I can, and I know that Paul says nobody is without sin, not even one. So don't judge me, because you probably cussed yesterday, tomorrow, the first day. It doesn't matter. God still loves you, just like he still loves me. Just trying to keep this straight for you guys. And there's a lot of passion behind this because I want you to get this right. So you may not hear this from your coach. If you have a personal trainer, trust me, you're not going to hear it from them. They just don't care. They look at you like a number. But hear it from Coach Jay. I don't know you from Adam, but I promise just in one conversation I can tell you all about yourself. Because we all do the same crap. We all have the same destructive patterns. Let's be better. Let's walk away from those destructive things. Let's choose it. Let's choose us. Let's choose me. Right? Do that today. Make yourself a homework assignment that you will start journaling this process. When you have something that happens that's destructive, write it down. And write the feelings that happened before the storm. We call that the calm before the storm. Write down about the calm. So the next time the calm comes in, that you're able to do something different. So therefore the storm won't be so dang stormy. Or maybe the storm doesn't show its face at all. Let's start the journalist process. Let's become writers. Let's become educated beings instead of beings that are getting thrown from all over the ship of life. Right? The waves are just taking us all over the place. Get off of the roller coaster. Stop paying the dadgum cashier. Don't get on a roller coaster that you know doesn't have tracks that finish the dadgum roller coaster. You're crazy. You'll kill yourself. It'll kill you. Love yourself. Love yourself. And do the right thing today. It's Coach Jay. I think I've said enough. If you have anything to add to this or you'd like to send me a message, feel free. My email is Hyler, which is HYLER.training@gmail.com. If you're interested in getting into a proper structure, or if you just need somebody to vent to, I'll listen to you and I won't judge you. Because if I judge you, I'm judging myself because I've done what you've done. I've done what you're doing. I want everybody to win. Really. It's not about me. It's about who I affect. So God bless you. And for those of you who reach out to me in advance, I appreciate it because I want to help. For those who don't, listen to this message again. Just let it permeate in your being and decide to be different. Decide to walk away from your old self and decide to walk towards the self that you're becoming. Not who you are, but who you're becoming. Not because you have arrived, but because you're arriving. Okay? Peace.